Welcome to a quick update here on the law report. My usual disclaimer, nothing that I say in this update is legal advice and should be considered such. For legal advice, contact an attorney of your choice. But another American tourist fined in the Turks and Caicos Islands for possession of ammunition. I'll be back shortly. Welcome back. According to an article from the Sun newspaper, the Sun Online, published today, the 21st of June 2024, an American tourist, Ryan Watson, was fined for 4 rounds of ammunition and given a 13 weeks suspended sentence. Therefore, Mr. Watson will not spend any time in jail. He was given 3 weeks to pay the fine. Supreme Court Judge, Her Ladyship Tanya Loban Jackson, said in her ruling, according to the news report, that there are exceptional circumstances in the case. She noted that Watson, a 40-year-old sales representative and long-life hunter, and his wife Valerie were leaving the Turks and Caicos Islands on the 12th of April 2024 after birthday celebrations with friends when the bullets, which he admitted were used for deer hunting, were found in his carry-on bag at the Providenciales airport. His wife was detained and subsequently released. She was in court with her husband along with his parents. Watson was represented by King's Counselor Oliver Smith, and he was assisted by Miss Kimon Tennant, while Mrs. Nyasha Hatnin appeared for the prosecutor. That is the end of the news article. Now just a follow-up. According to the news report, these ammunition were found in his carry-on luggage. And I highlighted this because someone had commented on this channel pointing out that it was perfectly legal for Americans to travel between states, that is, between different states in the United States of America, with ammunition in their check-in luggage. And maybe that is why they were making the mistake of traveling to the Turks and Caicos Islands with ammunition in their luggage, which is illegal to do. So let me point out very hastily that I'm not aware of any suggestion that ammunition were found in check-in luggages in any of the cases before the court involving American tourists. And in this specific case, the ammunition were found in their carry-on luggage while they were going through security. Secondly, I would hope that locals in Turks and Caicos Islanders or long-term residents are afforded exceptional circumstances if the circumstances merit. I know that there have been concerns that exceptional circumstances where firearm and ammunition are concerned are only granted to tourists. I have pointed out in previous episodes that it would be difficult for any local or whether a long-term resident or a Turks and Caicos Islander to replicate the facts in these cases. However, there are circumstances where a resident, be it a long-term resident or Turks and Caicos Islander, would be able to make a very strong argument of exceptional circumstances. I believe that the case of the AG reference that was referred to the Court of Appeal by the Attorney General Chambers is very instructive. Paragraph 64 to 66, because I'm of the view that the fact that someone is a visitor to Turks and Caicos Island, a tourist, should not be the determining factor in why they are granted exceptional circumstances in a case where they are found to be in possession of ammunition or firearm. So in sort of trying to justify why I made reference to, or why I compared tourists and locals and commented that I hope that locals or residents would be afforded exceptional circumstances and similar facts cases, I would like to take you, the audience, to the Court of Appeal decision in the Attorney General's reference, where the Attorney General brought a reference to the Court of Appeal challenging the sentences in several cases involving tourists. One of those persons was residing in the Turks and Caicos Islands, but I believe that paragraph 64 to 66 is very instructive. So I'll start at paragraph 64. In Bowler, there were personal mitigation plus other facts, including serious health concerns, which led the court to conclude that there were exceptional circumstances, which led them to reduce the custodial sentence below the mandatory minimum. Madam Attorney General submitted, I'm now at paragraph 65, that in Jude Dininger, a case in 2022, the matters taken into account were similar to this case, and Labon Jackson J., that's the sentencing judge, found in that case that they did not constitute exceptional circumstances, with which this court, meaning the Court of Appeal, had agreed. The learned judge, that is the sentencing judge, did not state what she took into account to distinguish the two cases, and so it is not possible to say that she was clearly wrong. But the court went on at paragraph 66 to say, one difference appears to be that Mr. O'Connor was a visiting tourist and Mr. Dininger had lived in the Turks and Caicos Islands for over 21 years, during which time he had never run afoul of the law. If that was a factor taken into consideration, it does not seem to us that one set of circumstances cannot be exceptional by virtue of only of the fact that the offender is the visiting tourist, and the same or similar facts not exceptional for a residence. Exceptional circumstances cannot be a static term. What are exceptional circumstances today may not be exceptional circumstances tomorrow, as they may become more commonplace. For example, if the frequency of the occurrence in similar circumstances reaches a certain level, the court must continue to be alive to this possibility. So there are two very important lessons here. One, the court is clearly saying that if the facts are the same, and the only difference is that one person is residing in the Turks and Caicos Islands, whether permanently or long term, and one person is a visitor, that shouldn't be the main factor to determine whether one gets exceptional circumstances and one does not. The other very important thing that I glean from paragraph 66 is that the court is saying that if a behavior become so frequent and commonplace and it reaches a certain level, then it may be no longer exceptional. And so it is worth pointing out that the frequency of which tourists or American citizens have been caught in the Turks and Caicos Islands taking ammunition out of the Turks and Caicos, and they are claiming that they brought them in inadvertently in the Turks and Caicos, if it continues to occur with such a frequency, then it may be no longer a valid point for finding of exceptional circumstances. But those are just my views. Let me know what your views are. And here is where I'm going to leave this quick update for today. Thank you for listening. And I will see you very shortly in another episode. Cheers.